Ahoy mateys and welcome back. This is video number 2 demonstrating the music and sound for the cinematic trailer for Oppenheimer. In this video I'll be showing you the sound effects and the approach that I used and also the layout of my Pro Tools session, and I'll be going through the individual tracks to show you each clip that I used, maybe not for the entire session but for some big moments, and discuss how they work together, also how they work with the music tonally. So first, let's just look at the layout of this session. I have 5 background tracks, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 mono effects tracks for hard effects. I have 2 LFE tracks, that stands for low frequency effects. The reason that there's 2 is because there's an overlapping automation fade between 2 different files, and so I had to use 2 different tracks to make that happen. And for the stereo sound effects, I have 1 through 9. We should go to the guide audio so that we can do a comparison. So solo this, make it big. Don't need to see all this here. So doing these videos is so much harder than I thought. Unbelievable. I gotta say, to the people who do this weekly, how the do you do this? This is insanity. And the research, like some of my podcast and YouTube heroes, I'm going to shout them out now because I just can't believe how much content and amazing content. Lex Friedman, Tom Billieux, Chris Williamson, Diary of a CEO, Broken Record, All In Podcast, Joe Rogan. On YouTube we have Cold Fusion, we have Moon, so many others. I can't even name them all. And they do this every week. I can't even believe it. This is so difficult. Anywho, let's before I get into dissecting my sound design session, we have to listen to the audio file that came with the Oppenheimer cinematic trailer to begin with. So
we imagine a future, and our imaginings horrify us. They won't fear it until they understand it. And they won't understand it
cover much of the sound effects
until they've used it. Theory will take you only so far. I don't know if we can be trusted with such a weapon. But we have no choice. What's happening here?
I mean, it's pretty rad, right? But anybody who does what we do, audio post-production, sound design, you know that, 85% of the sound effects that would be expected to be there for a sound edit are missing. So we'll do the opposite. We'll listen to just the sound effects that I did, and we'll mute the original sound from the video. And first we'll just listen to it in its entirety with all the tracks exposed. Some of you who do sound design and audio post-production will understand this session right away. For those who don't, it consists of 5 basic parts. There's background ambiances, hard effects, Foley, SPFX, and an LFE track, which is low frequency effects, the sub rumble that you hear when you go to the movie theater. So far, there's been no volume automation done in the session, and also no spatialization with reverbs or delays with sends. The only thing I've done is clip gain per clip. So each clip has been modified, many different alterations to each clip, but there's, as you can see, if I go into the automation, there's none yet, but in the final mix there will be. Let's get on with it. I've muted the guide track that came with the video, and now we'll listen to the sound effects that I did. Music takes over here. I noticed that there was one part missing. When he drops the marbles into the bowl, one of my tracks must be stuck on one of the music tracks that's muted. I'm sure that we'll hear that when we add the music back into this. So, digging into the individual layers that I used to create the sound design for the Oppenheimer cinematic trailer. Here we go. This is the intro, so the explosion. Layer 1, layer 2. Old school Nagra analog distortion there, number 3. Same file, but a different part of the file. And a different structure to the attack and the sustain and whatnot. I have a sublayer in here. It's tonal, probably goes along with the music in terms of pitch. Now we get into the stereo sound effects. We have an impact first. Transient with like a tonal percussiveness. Blazing Inferno. The torch deal again, maybe a gas stove. The joke file, the flame whoosh. But modified, it sounds alright. This file I had used as a kind of a missile pass left to right before at its regular speed, but I pitched it down. It's much cooler when it's pitched down. It's like this evolving crunchy whoosh, right? Much better slowed down. Jet whooshes, again modified. Phased whooshes that are giving you a bit of a stereo, trippy kind of feel there. it says swirling whoosh, but it's really more of a tonal ambient hit, really. Moving on, let's go into the second area here. So there's backgrounds that are created for the rain. The important thing about this section here is that the audio needs to adhere to the video transitions precisely. And in order to do that, you have to have your grid and your nudge values set to 1 frame and time code for both the grid and the nudge. Well, grid for sure. Nudge if you want to be able to use plus and minus to advance back and forth by 1 frame. As you can see, the borders of the transitions for audio line up perfectly with what happens visually. I'll see if I can make that more obvious. There we go. All right, so and these sounds here are more abstract, these ones that play next. Obviously, I've never been in the wings of a plane. I don't know what that sounds like, and I'm sure it wouldn't sound the way that I just presented it, but that's what sound design is all about. It's telling a story. And as we can see, the only other thing that was used here was the raindrop files. So these are mono. And they may sound strange even on their own, but moving them around, and when you have the music playing, it's a different experience. So you actually end up moving the water sound effect files around in positions that make sense based on where the music is and kind of what pops through and which frequencies work. Not what I would have expected to just listen to the sound effects on their own and be like, but with the music, they mix in really nicely. All right, moving on to the next part, we have... Oh yeah, I did use a couple of stereo files here as well. Tonal kind of eerie wind was the first layer. And like, I guess I would call that a long kind of whoosh for the next one. Here I had to kind of do a Foley pass. And then down here I have a stereo file of percussive metal. And all together it sounds like this. I don't think I'm missing anything, am I? Nope. The marbles are sitting on a music track by mistake, so they'll be uncovered when I add the music back in. But the marble sound effects are actually there, but they're musical. They're like musical notes dropping into a bowl kind of thing. Okay, so now we get into some sci-fi design, which I really love to do. I'm gonna get out of grid mode here because it's just annoying. The look is just annoying me right now. So now we'll take apart the layers for the sci-fi energy stuff. And these are, I can tell that they're tuned to the music already. Crunchy. A nice little firework, transient. And more of those. Kind of a flame impact, right? And finally, might call that a cinematic dive. And all together. So again, they either deliberately or for time constraints didn't do any of the Foley for any of these parts here, and so here's what they missed. Well, not the fire part. They hit most of the fire explosive parts. Oh wow! I used a lion roar, a lion or a tiger pitched down. Lion. Oh, from a better library. Inferno. Tonal sub hit with a little bit of mid. Distorted distorted fire explosion. The hollow whooshes from the Sound Ideas library that everybody has. That was my phone. Right, the torch. Ominous. And what's this here? So I put a little bit of an ambience under this whole, let me just expand this region here. These clips so we can see what's going on. What have I done? Oh yeah. Yeah, that's cool. Cooler than I thought. Used obviously the same clip there, but pitched it down and changed the positioning and probably cut it in half and changed the positions of both halves. That probably ended a little bit. Could make that a little bit better fade probably, right? Let's see. Possibly. Right. Electricity. Arc. Ooh. Electricity again. And then the camera stuff. I basically only focused on the main character here for the footsteps, and so found a good hard shoe that kind of fit the style, I think, for the time, even though I wasn't around in the 40s. And then I duplicated it and then pitched it down by 1 octave. So we have the original hard shoe Foley, and then I copied it and made it 1 octave lower as well. And then I couldn't find any good kind of walla for walla, the term for speech that you can't really understand. So just people talking in a cafe or a bar, but it's all just kind of ambient. That's called walla. I used a junior high school, but then pitched it down because I didn't have any files, as we talked about. I didn't have all my libraries at hand when I did this. So that was kids going, but it was pitched down by probably like 4 semitones in a different part of the file. Let's listen to it in halftime and see how even more bizarre it can sound. All right, now all together. And there's some stereo tracks in here as well. Right? This is mostly for the camera coverage, I can see now. Yeah, even that, like, which of course you wouldn't hear, but for some reason when you add it into the whole thing, it sounds kind of cool. Check it out. Right? I mean, you'd have to hear a flash bulb from the 70s actually do that thing. And I have. We also have one strike of the sub here as well. Tonal sub. To the next part we have... Oh, I won't do any more explosion stuff for now. We'll just cover a new kind of part. Fireworks here. Oh, this part looks really cool actually. Let's see what I did here. So just a couple of mono tracks for the fireworks, and then all this is the stereo stuff that kind of fills in these magical... well, this is the SPFX that I talked about earlier. Same file, but different treatment, different part of the file, clip, whatever you want to call it, region. Flangey whoosh. This would be a like a cycle hum, but that I tuned to the key of the music. Tonal kind of whoosh, I guess. And then it looks like I doubled this. It probably just makes no difference at all whether I mute it. Let's find out. Okay, now let's put it back in. And then let's mute the other one. Oh yeah, so this one carries on. Alright, let's just leave it as I found it. So I'm using this hum here as my kind of low frequency electronic thing that is in the same key as whatever the music part is there. Right, some more phase whooshes. Oh yeah, I used like magical. So these would be like chimes pitched up. Yep. Some kind of cool, I would call that like a mid-range fluctuation. More chimes. Yeah, I'm not sure where I got that from. Oh yeah, it came from the 6000 series, Space Howling Wind. But like pitch changed, and I figured out what part of the file kind of sounded neat. Fireworks. This actually came together better than I thought it would. Let's just listen to the mono layers first. And again, these are not panned; they're just straight up the middle. Cool. And let's do the opposite now. And oh, you know what? Let's just listen to the whole thing in sequence. Nice. So for the stereo explosion, the A-bomb nuclear kind of deal going through like analog distortion, probably like a Nagra recording. Large explosion. Closer kind of debris metallic explosion. Same clip but a different part. Fiery. Tonal impact. And that's, I guess, that's me trying to do the debris and dust, but in a abstract way. All right, that's for the chalkboard. That's different. And then for mono effects for that same area that we just looked at. Explosion 1. Like a rock slide for debris. More debris, but really low. Again, more debris low in the mix. And once again, debris low in the mix. Self-explanatory. Did a car thing here. Let's listen to the different layers. We have a Jeep. Kind of engine winding down after the engine's been cut. This is the backing up Jeep Wrangler. Classic brake squealing as it comes to a halt, and finally the road noise from the tires. And then we got the tarp pull. I doubled it. One's kind of got more high end energy and the other one's got more low end energy. That's what I think happened here. Right, and now we listen to the whole thing, at least this part. As you can see here for this section that I have highlighted, there is no sound effects until here, and let's see what I've done here. Okay, so this is kind of my hit for his eyes. Probably in their score, there's an element that does that, and probably in mine there wasn't. So what I did was I added this kind of subby impact. And other than that, the next thing that we have is probably a title or transition sub hit. Yes, it is. I can see that it comes in for Christopher Nolan's name. Actually, where did that come from? Yeah, there's a problem here. Huh, we uncovered a problem. That one was fine. Yeah, we can't have that thump there. That's a problem. I could bring it a little bit further, perhaps. Okay. And it could end a little bit better too, probably. So more of a fade on both, most likely. Yeah. At least without the music. And then you can see that I'm doing some sub hits here. Like we said that we got one for Christopher Nolan's title. Difficult to really cover this part. It's like it's a drone shot. You wouldn't really hear it. I just went with the music for this part, and then drop back in with the sound effects when we get to the crane. Right. So solo. Those are the crane sounds. And then I think I have, yeah, so the sci-fi hits are now in time with the music. Wherever there's a scene cut, you'll see that one of these sci-fi hits now comes in. And luckily that all worked with the music, and that was 120 beats per minute, and the meter was 3/4. All right, we're getting there. Looks like I had fun here. Switches. Beginning with this tonal electricity stuff in key with the music, most likely. More sparks. Cool. And then a low frequency impact. And finally we got some gritty raspy whooshes according to the clip. And all together, it sounds like this. Easy enough. I remember laboring over this part here. Not that. This. Like doing, like getting going at it from a couple of different angles before arriving here. There's a clip there. What the hell? It's not there. Tonal electricity buzz. Tonal dark, ominous hit. Fireball. So you could come in like slightly earlier. Maybe like that. That was just minus on the numeric keypad if you're set to nudge by 1 frame in time code. Oh yeah, here we go. Bunch of stereo stuff to uncover here. Tonal impact. Pro Tools dying. Oh wow, surprised it resuscitated so fast. Electricity. More sci-fi stuff. A whoosh. Flame explosion impact. Another flame pitch down. And more flames yet. Oh, the ending is a little bit... Yeah, I hear this metallic thing in the end. Gotta remove that. And now all together. Cool. Must have the tonal impact. Yeah, there it is, going along with the scene change. Another explosion. Oh, I did some interesting stuff down here in the stereo. Let's explore quickly. That I like a lot. Altogether, they sound cool. We have a sub dive here. Right. Lots went into that, eh? Let's check it out. Torchy, explodey, fire inferno. Ooh, big explosion, Hollywood style. I think I stole that from Batman. Quick impact. What's this SFX rise? This must be... Love this part here. These goggles, they do nothing. Simpsons trivia there for you. Last explosion. Here we go. We made it to the end. Woo! The atomic bomb, distorted Niagara deal. Explosion impact. More of that Niagara kind of A-bomb stuff. Flame whoosh. The file that I tell everybody to never use. Fireball flame. No, this is fireball flame burst. Different. The atomic bomb, but probably stretched out in some kind of software. Sub hits. Oh, it's just to carry on this one. So it just carries on for longer. I get it. Okay. Finally, getting down to the last little bit here. The flame, torch, stereo explosion, really crispy, distorted inferno, Hollywood explosion, a bit of debris. I guess I use that just as the beginning impact, and then finally, what did I use for their analog timer. Oh yeah, I'm not even sure what that is, but oh, SFX digital switch on. I think that's from a video game that I worked on. I worked on a bunch of games actually, so I have a bunch of sound effects from that time of my life as well. So now just one more time from the beginning, now that we've exposed all the different independent layers, and then I'll say peace. All right. I'm pretty satisfied with where this has gone so far. If there is a third video, it'll be one where I've done some mixing, some volume automation on the individual tracks, and also used spatial effects like reverb and delay to give it the worldizing effect that it would have in physics. Thanks for watching.